Welcome to 6th grade. Right now we're going to be thinking about writing personal narratives. This is the first units of study. And what we want to think about are ways to generate ideas. So the first thing we talked about, if you remember, is that we thought about a person who matters to us a lot. And then we list those small moment stories about that person. And then we chose one of those and we wrote the whole story. If you remember, I wanted you to write fast and furious, and you were asked to write 1.5 to 2 pages, and you did it. Great job on that. The next thing we did, if you remember, is that we thought about a place that mattered. And we used Jack Gantos as an inspiration. If you remember, he's a published author, published children's author. And he put that map together. And what we did is we also did the same thing. We're using pictures and quick notes, and we jotted about the small moments that occurred in that place. We chose one of those places, and we wrote the story for 1.5 to 2 pages, fast and furious. That's an expectation in 6th grade. The third thing we did is we thought about the first or last time that you did something. You list a small moment story. You could tell about each, and then you chose one and you wrote the whole story. And now we're going to be focusing on the last one. We're going to think of moments that really mattered because you either realized something or you learned something, or you learned something about someone else. You're going to list those moments, you're going to choose one, and today you'll write 1.5 to 2 pages. Now, in 6th grade, it's really important to keep in mind that the biggest, most important goal is to write compelling stories. And a compelling story is a story that compelling means it's not just writing about that soccer game that you won or that you scored a goal. That's not compelling. A compelling story is something that you learn something about yourself or someone else, and it sort of changed you in a way. It changed your perception, and it changed you as a person. So that is our goal in 6th grade. Our next goal is to build our endurance as writers. So building endurance means that you can write fast and furious for 15 to 20 minutes without stopping. Now, I know that that's easy for me to say. I know that sometimes when you're writing, you really struggle, and I do the same thing. And so one of the things that we need to practice, including me, is that when we're writing and we're focusing on coming up with good ideas and you get stuck, the most important thing is to not stop writing. Continue writing no matter what. And you might ask yourself, well, how is that possible? How can I continue writing when I'm stuck, right? How can that happen? Well, what I want you to do is to actually write what you're struggling with. So if you're struggling with an idea, you could actually write, I can't think of an idea to write about. And you actually write about that. So I am stuck. All right? And I can't think of, and then you continue. Just building that endurance of writing is the most important thing that you want to do. Good luck. Today we are going to be working on another strategy for writing. It will help you come up with some powerful story ideas. So first thing is we're going to be jotting moments that have really mattered to you. Now, they could be first or last times. What really works is to think about moments when you learn something important about yourself and other people in life. And then I want you to write the whole story fast and furious. Let's see what that might look like. So I think about a few things when I think about my first and my last times of doing something. The first thing that comes to mind for me is the time that I was overwhelmed with biking. So the time I raced over 100 miles on a bike. So I can remember this particular time. It was my first time on this bike for the longest time. So I did a race all the way from Boston. So I rode my aluminum, and it was so heavy. My aluminum bike from Boston all the way to Vermont. Now, this was a memorable moment for me because, let me see if I can spell Vermont correctly, because it was the first time I had ever rode that distance before. And I want to tell you that this was also the time where I was absolutely the last person on the course. I was certainly embarrassed. I was heartbroken. And I can remember how the car was behind me and it was following me for a long period of time until I realized that they were following me because I was the last person on the course. It really made me very upset to come in last. So one of the things I learned from this experience is that regardless of the fact that I came in last, I learned quite a bit about myself. I learned that I am a person that doesn't like to quit, and I learned that I can learn a lot even if I come in last. And so that is what I'll be writing about today. I'll be writing about that particular time. So I want you to choose a powerful topic for a personal narrative. And I want you to brainstorm first. I want you to think about those times in your life where the first or the last time you did something. Think about a small moment. And then from that list, I want you to think about, choose one of those moments, the first and last times, choose one. And then I want you to write today. All right, so try it on the next page in your notebook. Make a quick list of the times when you realize something important. Remember to recall those times, and remember to think about the strong emotions and the lessons that you learned. So focus on that today. So jot quietly, and then we can talk to each other in a few minutes.